Hello guys and welcome back to another UCL fantasy video. It's been a while, we haven't had games since December, but it's already January and we're like 14 days, 15 before the next deadline. So I decided to start preparing for the upcoming week. I'm going to go today through my Matchday 6 team, how it did, how it went and how it's going to go. And then I'm going to go through my Matchday 7 current squad, and I'll be looking at ways I can improve the squad and what I'm going to do most probably with the transfers that I have in mind. If you want to be supportive, you can subscribe to the channel. As you can see, I've reached 2,000 subscribers. For those of you that are watching only the UCL fantasy content, for now the goal is 2,500. So let's see how it's going to go. Yeah, this is early team news, so nothing is confirmed, nothing is going to be there, just to see how my team is shaping up and to see which areas of the team we can work on and we can improve for the foreseeable 2 weeks. March day 6 was the week when I activated my wildcard and it paid off massively. As you can see, most of my points returned some massive points, and some of my differentials performed better than expected. Differentials such as Wagnerman, Trusty and Vinny Jr. were not expected to perform that much. They were just budget viewers and budget holders, but at the end of the day, they performed like hell. My Nan with Benitez, both of them ended on 3 points, nothing too amazing there to discuss. I was a little bit disappointed with the Milan's performance and the PSV performance, to be fair, but 3 points is still a very solid performance by a keeper. You can say 6 for a clean sheet, 3 for a conceded goal. I will take that. In defense, all of my defenders returns once again on the bench. Kim did not return, but in midfield, in defense, Trusty, Van Dijk, Grimaldo and Wagnerman specifically with some amazing performances. I was so surprised to see, first of all, Trusty keeping a clean sheet, because it was pretty difficult to keep a clean sheet at the first day. It was goal galore around the fixtures, but Celtic managed to do it. Then Liverpool managed to perform pretty well, an 8-pointer. Grimaldo with a 7-pointer, nothing short but extraordinary. A game against Inter Milan, and they managed to perform like that, just brilliant. And then Wagnerman with 13 points. I was so surprised. First of all, it was his attacking return of the year in UCL, and I managed to get it. Brilliant. Then I opted for Salah as my captain in the first day with 8 points. It was an okay performance, but I was then scared to move away from him. In fairness, it was either Griezmann or Salah as my captain. Griezmann would have been 5 points better. Saka would have been 11 points better. That is mental. Like 11 points if I got it from Saka with the performances that he got in the UCL against Monaco. It was nothing short of amazing, as well as the bonus point there. Brilliant. Salah 8-pointer only. It was a penalty against Girona, but we take those and we continue forward. Another return from the Egyptian King, and we will be delighted with it. Then Reinders, a little bit of a disappointment because Milan did not perform pretty well in that match day, but they still have a good fixture run, and then we're going to discuss it in a second. Musiala on 11 points. Great performance, goal, everything that I needed from him, apart from mostly man of the match, but you cannot win them all. Vinny Jr. 10-pointer, it was a good performance against Atalanta. He scored twice, didn't manage to get the man of the match as Lukman got it in that game week, but at the end of the day, I think that I was more than delighted with the points that he returned. And Griezmann, brilliant performance, 13 points in combined to 110 points for the week. On the bench, Gyökeres 1-pointer replaced, and Kuhn instead of Reinders would have given me 1 more point, but at the end of the day, I was always going to play my Milan player over the blank from Kuhn. If Kuhn had performed better, it was going to be Wagnerman was going to be on the bench. So having so many players playing on the second day, it's sometimes pretty difficult to decide who to pick. Thankfully, I managed to basically pick the best opportunities there, apart from the captaincy, but still not a blank from my captain. This equal to 110 points for the weekend, moved me from 3,101st to 583rd in the world, which is a massive rank for me for a first year playing QCL Fantasy. Now I feel the pressure to keep performing. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I will try my best in order to maintain the at least the rank and keep myself in the top 1-2k. I think there are weeks that I may not perform pretty well, but the team is set up. We're going to see in a second how it's looking for the next fixture and how it's going to be set up for the following fixtures. But yeah, I think all in all, a pretty great performance of my team in Matchday 6. Now let's go and see how we're going to look in Matchday 7. Have in mind that's a first impression of my team. It's not going to be making any transfers, thinking about players. I will spend my time trying to find better moves left, right and center, just to decide how to replace players, because Saka is injured in my team and he will be missing the last 2 fixtures, so I need to replace him. I will play with the budget, and at the end of the day I will present to you in future videos how I'm going to be looking most likely. Of course, there is going to be a deadline stream where we will be locking everything, and last but not least, we're going to talk about in future videos for a wildcard and for a limitless, because I think now is the time to activate those chips. This video is not going to maintain any of those scenarios, but for now I think that's more than enough for 15 days beforehand. Let's go and see how my lineup is looking. Have in mind that this is only a early team selection and nothing is locked. Here is how my team is looking at the moment. I've decided to showcase to you first the dates when my players play, because it's pretty important to decide which players are going to start. Then when we pinpoint which players are for now going to play where, then we're going to move to the fixtures and we're going to see how they will be looking in the fixture spectrum of things. So in goal, I'll be having 2 keepers for each day, so that's good. Benitez starting on the 21st, then it's going to be my Nan on the 22nd, so I have players for both days, which is brilliant. Then in defense, we're opting for, we have 3 defenders, Virgil, Wagnumann and Grimaldo will be operating in defensive department. I think that's a pretty okay defense to start with 3 players. 2, on the other hand, to replace them in the next fixture. So let's remember, Benitez and the 3 defenders in the middle are going to be having the first match days. Then in midfield, sadly, we only have 1 player playing on the first day, and that's Mo Salah. And in attack, we still have only 1 player. So we are 2, 5, 6 players only playing in the first day. That leaves us with 10 on the second. To be fair, Saka is now injured, and most probably the replacements that we're going to be taking a look at, I will try to find players that are just playing on the first day, because I want to have at least 7 to 8. 7 players is ideal. 7-8 is ideal to start on the first day in order to have proper replacement on the second. But let's go and see what I expect from the team moving forward, and what exactly are my plans to... Who am I looking to replace? Who is in good form? Then I will check the injury records. I know for sure Saka is out, but for the future we will wait for the cup games. There's going to be midweek fixtures for all of the teams. Then it's going to be another week of fixtures. So we have around 3 to 4 games where players can get injured, so nothing will be locked. But let's go and see where we can pinpoint some locations in the team that we can replace and that we can rely on. 3 defenders in the middle, Salah, Griezmann and Benitez are on the first day, so we have to see if we're going to change that. Looking now at the fixtures, it's not good to be fair, but let's see what we have in store. So in goal, I will be opting for Benitez versus Zvezda and Mainan versus Girona. At the end of the day, I think both fixtures are pretty favorable for both keepers, so the keeper spot is not something that I will be taking a look at. Then we have Trusty against Young Boys, Wagnumann against Slovan Bratislava, Virgil against Lille, Grimaldo versus Atletico, and Kim versus Feyenoord. Young Boys, Slovan and Lille, I think, are pretty good oppositions for my 3 defenders. Grimaldo against Atletico is not ideal, but I will be keeping Grimaldo as I would like him for the last fixture. I think Bayer Leverkusen has one of the easiest fixtures in the last 2. We'll focus on the fixture difficulty in the future videos, so we're going to pinpoint which players would like to target in the last, would like to target now. But yeah, Grimaldo versus Atletico Madrid is something that I'm not very keen on, but I'll be keeping. Kim versus Feyenoord, I think it's a good fixture to hold him still. Then in midfield, Salah faces Lille, which is okay, so he can be my captain for the first day. I can risk it with a defender, but honestly, I'll be very surprised if I do so. For now, it's going to remain on Salah. Then we have Saka versus Dinamo Zagreb, who is going to leave the team, so that would make sense to just replace him with someone playing on the first day. We're going to split the fixtures. We're going to see someone First of all, I'm going to prepare a team for match day 8 because they're quickly one after another. In match day 8, have in mind that we're only going to be relying on 11 players. So I will be deciding on which 11 players I'm most probably going to rely on. And if those players are here, I'm going to make decisions about them in that transfer moves. For example, I know that Bayer Leverkusen will be playing an easier position in match day 7, so I can easily move to someone like Wirtz right now and be prepared with it and not care about it. But we'll have a lot of other videos about it, so let's focus on the early things. But Saka for sure is a place where I'll be looking to replace. Then Musiala, Kuhn, pretty good fixtures, Feyenoord and Young Boys. Then in front, Vinicius against Salzburg. So Salzburg is not a bad opposition. Gyökeres against Red Bull Leipzig. Gyökeres have been struggling at the end of last year, but the start of this year he already scored a hat-trick, I believe. So I will be most probably keeping Gyökeres and I will be not touching the Sporting players because they have an okay fixture run and I can always rely on Gyökeres. If the end result is not there, I'm just benching him the last week, but all in all, I think I'll be pretty delighted with my fixtures. I know that I'm for sure benching Kuhn and Trusty on the last fixtures because I specifically picked them for that reason, to bench them. But then we need to find one more player to bench and that's not going to be easy, and we need to see how it's going to go. But for now, Griezmann and Saka look like the two players that I will be most probably selling and buying expensive players for them as the fixture runs benefit those players. Probably a player from Barcelona will be good to have, and a player probably for Bayern Munich, maybe adding someone from Bayern Munich, I already said, someone from Arsenal. There are a lot of possibilities, but for now I think we have a strong structure. For now, only one massive injury in my team. The rest of it I can rely on, and those players are starting, those players are playing. There are not many surprises, so yeah, I think I'm in a pretty good position. I don't know what you're going to say, but with the two transfers, I think I'll be managing it for sure. Now I'm going to prepare in the probably even late this week or early next week wild cards and a limitless selection that we will focus on, and then we will start preparing my team because I already used both of those chips and I'm looking for I just think that now is the best period to use those chips, and as such I think it should be properly used. But yeah, I will be then monitoring the wildcard selection, the limitless selection. I'll be building it for you, I'll be presenting it to you, so don't you worry. There is going to be a lot of things to discuss. So yeah, first of all, early chips, moving to limitless and wildcard, then moving to my team selection, some deadline chips, some deadline things to discuss. A lot of content will be coming your way. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for enjoying the content. If you do, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to reach 2,500 subscribers. It's a big number, but at the end of the day, we should aim big and we should reach for the stars. It's a reasonable number, so we should be able to reach it as soon as possible. This wraps it up for the early chips video. Once again, thank you. Don't do anything rush. 3-4 fixtures for most of the teams are on the horizon, so I would be as calm as possible. But yeah, this is how the team looks, and I feel pretty confident with it, to be fair. Only a little adjustments to sacrifice Saka and probably sell Griezmann, and we're in the money. So thank you for watching, thank you for being part of the community. I hope to see you soon on the other videos, but for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.